What's up, YouTube? Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. As we mentioned the last video, we've got some deep cold settling into parts here of Central North Carolina. Currently, at the time of making this, my computer here, well, it went away, but it's somewhere around 28 degrees outside at this moment. So I am not going to stand outside. I apologize. I'm not going to be out on the porch for you guys filming this one. Just a little too cold for me. I would just be shivering, chattering my teeth. It wouldn't work out. So we're here by the computer. We've got some convenient background art for you of a Mr. Ferguson lawn care channel and some past videos to show you. But I wanted to just do a video to kind of review what we did this past season in 2024. We learned some things. We did some things we had never done before in the past in lawn care, and just kind of wanted to go over that with you. And if you're someone that's new to the channel, that's never watched all the previous videos, this may be content during the winter months you may want to go back and check out. So the first thing, looking back to 2024, if you guys recall, we started in September of 2023, we started the project lawn. I wanted to do something for the church. I wanted to have an area to just be able to play around, test. You know, my lawn, I mentioned that my lawn out here, we established it back in 2020. It's kind of running itself is what I was saying, and it does. I didn't overseed for many years. And I kind of read it like, can I still like create a new lawn? Like I wanted to figure that out. So we talked about the project lawn. So we came out, there's all the videos on the project lawn. I do have a playlist that you can go if you just want to see where we started, where we're at. But basically, long story short, in September, we didn't aerate, but we had Mr. Blake's friend come out. He has like this claw machine for free. He came out to the church, kind of broke up all the dirt, but it wasn't but about probably 6 to 8 inches deep. Roughly, maybe that much, maybe 6 inches deep. He clawed the ground the best he could, but it wasn't a quarter aeration. And so in the areas where he clawed, it helped to loosen the dirt to where the grass would get down deeper. But in the areas that didn't get touched, it was still very firm. But with that, we decided to plant GCI Cool Blue because we had well water. Well, we learned a lot from that going into 2024, which is what I want to get to real briefly. Ruined the Cool Blue at the church. So that is something we learned in 2024. Well, how did you ruin it, Mr. Ferguson? Well, we messed with something called Ornamic 170, which is a product that is helpful with trying to remove specific type of weeds, but Ornamic 170, which is basically Fusilade 2 fighting Bermuda, the thought process behind that was, hey, Ornamic 170 not only fights Bermuda, which we have in the project lawn because all of the lawn at the church is Bermuda grass. Let's put down Organic 170. It's a lighter version of Fusilade 2. It'll fight off the Bermuda and also tackle other weeds. Well, wasn't a smart idea. We know that in GCI Cool Blue, we have Kentucky bluegrass. So it killed some of the bluegrass and it just devastated the lawn. It was not a good idea. We did that in the spring months. I don't know exactly when. It's in the archive. But we ruined the Cool Blue. So we learned from that is the point. In 2024, the very first thing I learned was we shouldn't be messing around. Number one, Ornamic 170, Fusilade 2. Number one, guys, I think they're not rated for residential lawns. This is probably the reason why. We've proven this on my channel. If I was you, I would be very careful. If you're trying to fight Bermuda in a fescue lawn, it's very difficult. Bermuda is like Poa Triv. It's very difficult to remove it from your lawn successfully. It can take a punch and keep going. And fescue sometimes give up the fight before the Bermuda does and the Bermuda wins. It's very difficult, but that's the first thing I've got written down that we learned in 2024, which is we just need to go back to the basics. And that's what we've done basically this year to skip forward to this past September when we replanted. We kind of, once we did that, and I'll try to put clips, if I've not already put clips up, I'm going to try to put clips of what we're talking about and remind you. But it was looking great. And I had some beautiful pictures of the project lawn from the fall. Then once we sprayed that Ornamic 170, it was over, man. It just looked terrible. It looked dingy. It thinned out our lawn. Weeds came in, and I basically gave up at that point, if you recall. We didn't really do any more Project Lawn videos until we got closer. We just let it do its thing during the summer. It looked decent during basketball, but that's when we kind of ruined it. So it had to have been around March, April. And then we just let it go. And then we came back and did what we did this past spring. And now it's looking awesome because we said we're going to do basics. We're not messing with Ornamic. We're not messing with any high-powered herbicides. We're just going to do fertilizer. We're going to put some biostimulants in there. We're going to try to get our pH right and let it do its thing. And so far, Project Lawn's looking great. The next one I got on my list is we switched to the Earthway spreader. Yes. Some of you may think, man, I thought you've had that thing for a while. We bought that in 2024. We got rid of the disgusting Scotts spreader. I've left it up at the church, the Scotts spreader, the Elite spreader that I paid $110 at Home Depot in Wake Forest, North Carolina. It lasted me for a little while, but that pull action. Now, let me say this. In regards to the Scotts spreader, I do enjoy the fact that I can pull that lever. When it works properly, it distributes the fertilizer, the product properly. I let go, it closes. The Earthway, you have to manually open and close the Earthway residential spreader. That takes some getting used to. For me, somebody that's used Scotts basically all my lawn care journey, that's a difference maker. So I enjoy the fact that it would auto close, but that's the part that keeps screwing up. Even though I clean it, even though I wash it down, it's not the sticking of the fertilizer. I wipe it down, I clean it. I probably clean it more than the average homeowner. But that dang spring, man, even when there's light, I was thinking, okay, maybe the heavy product sitting on top of the Scotts spreader vents is that's what's preventing. No, it's not that. I've seen it with nothing in there. I've shown on camera several times when I pull that handle, the spring pulls, but it does not open it up, and it's just. I've too many times at the Project Lawn, I had it up there. Even here, I've had to hand throw product out, wasting it because I have no other option. So we went with the Earthway spreader. I will have a link in the description below. I'm telling you, if you got a Scotts, maybe you're a Mr. Fix-It. You can constantly fix it. I know some people do that, and that's totally fine. But for me, someone that I've tried to tinker with it, I've tried to play with it, I can't get it. It annoys me. It constantly breaks. I went with Earthway. It's got it doesn't have the plastic tires. It has actual air-filled tires. It's worked great. I love the Earthway. Highly recommend it. It's in the description below if you're interested as well. The next thing I put on here is the root growth test. Alan Hain, the lawn care nut, did an awesome video. And basically, as an affiliate for Yard Mastery, I don't always promote their products. I'm an affiliate for GCI. I'm an affiliate for Yard Mastery. I'm an affiliate for Amazon and do my own, Jonathan Green. But I don't always promote that company's product. But Alan Hain did an awesome video about, does this RGS, does this CK, do these products make a difference in the roots of grass? I was fascinated by that video in 2024, and I did my own test. But in his video, he took different cuts of St. Augustine, planted them all together, gave them water. Then he took the samples. I'm going to think of it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. He took the sample size. We'll say the squares. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm missing the word. He dipped them in the product and replanted them. Some of them with the fertilizer got too much and died. We saw that in mine, but that was the best way he went around doing it. So we basically recreated the same thing to see on our own. Does RGS make a difference? Does just water compete with the CK, the sea kelp? What about some starter fur and things of this nature? So we did a video on that as well. That was super fun. It was super interesting. And I think to test products, like we could try Hydratane. Would be something interesting to see. Applying Hydratane, no Hydratane. Does it affect the root system? Does it not in summer? That's something else we can do in the future. But doing that test, we did that test. That video, I don't think got enough love that it should have for the effort that it took to put that on. But that was an awesome video to show. The roots are definitely a little bit fatter, a little bit thicker in diameter with the sea kelp than it was with just water. But the just water was pretty nice looking. The sea kelp was just a little bit, and the RGS with a little bit of sea kelp was a little. But go back and watch that video. But the sea kelp definitely made a difference in the thicker roots. So it showed me, I'm not just telling you guys, it proved to me as an affiliate and a home care, lawn care owner, that I'm not just wasting my money applying some CK to the turf. It actually does affect the roots. If you haven't seen it, go check out the root growth video from what we did this past summer with St. Augustine grass. We had a lot of drought. Man, we had a lot of drought. We did a little test that we probably shouldn't have. We said, let's see how long since my fescue has been established for several years, which it has. We've got a mix of turf type tall fescue. We got GCI turf type tall fescue. We had some Jonathan Green on the edge. We've got some sun and the shady nooks on the edge over here. We got some solar green, which was heat and drought from Jonathan Green. Basically, we said, all right, let's do a test. Instead of watering, because you guys know I'm on city water, and instead of pumping water into my lawn to keep it green, many folks had said, Mr. Ferguson, just let the grass normally do what it wants to do, go dormant. And that's exactly what fescue wants to do. And I said, good idea. So we said, let's see if we can just let it go, not water, give it just enough to keep it alive. And here may be some clips of that. We basically had brown grass. We pushed it a little far, and we were testing how dry can we go and bring it back. Well, as you guys know, as soon as we started this test, which is exactly what it was, we did it on purpose. We were denying, and then people come into your videos and like, you're an idiot. You need to water. That's your problem. We knew what we were doing. We said it ahead of times, but not everybody understood. But all of a sudden, we go into a drought. We didn't have any rain. We had rain in May, and we're like, oh, cool. May is always the month in North Carolina where we never have water. And we had rain after rain. We had inches of rain. But then June, July, and August, it was drought months. And so that was incredible. So it got scary for a while. We went on vacation, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and we eventually did bring it back some. We watered, but it was and it made it more difficult for the next topic, which was the early seeding. We did it early. We did it in the end of August. So with all of this, with the drought, we were watering. We had high water bills. We decided to try to seed early as another test. By the way, all these tests, it would be a boring channel if we didn't do tests on a YouTube lawn care channel. I don't know all the time what other YouTubers are doing, but I find that interesting. Hey, what happens if we do this? And instead of you doing it and ruining your lawn, I'm willing to do some tests. And then sometimes we can do it at the project lawn because it's kind of tucked away from the public, where it doesn't really matter if it goes bad. Nobody cares anyway because it's always looked bad over there. It looks good now, so they may notice, but you get what I'm saying. So we did a test of trying to seed earlier, and we did it at the end of August as we started to slowly trend down in temperatures in the 70s, and that was not smart. I learned a lot from that, I guess maybe because it just happened not too long ago. But when we seeded at the end of August, we talk about on my channel how Poa annua begins to germinate 1 September to 30 October. That's where 80% of our Poa annua germinate. Well, this year it was abnormally warm. It's been dry, and then it got abnormally warm. So the ground temperatures were super hot. The air temperatures, I was sweating. It was like 88 degrees. It was ridiculous to try to seed at that time, but I did it just like I would do it in September. We weren't really that early. We were kind of really from when I would normally do it. We were about 2 weeks early. So it wasn't a crazy amount, but with the conditions we got this year, it was ridiculous to seed when I did. What we've had to do is repair seed. And I just literally, the last video showed you guys one of the areas I had to repair seed out here by the playground over here has come in nice, lush, and thick. But because the temperatures have dropped, it's plummeted, the ground temperatures have went down, and you naturally have to wait for that feeling of fall to come into the air. It's cool season turf, so God has designed it to thrive in colder temperatures, colder ground temperatures. And when you get that combination, finally, and it's not 80 and 70 ground temperatures, man, the grass looks totally different. The fertilization of it makes it look just an amazing green color. You just have to wait for the Lord to bring in the right weather, and then you need to go about doing your seeding. So we prove that. You can try to go early to be able to tackle another project lawn. Not going to work out. You actually will end up spending more money if you choose to seed too early and try to get it over with before the actual proper times come. So we learned that too. We also had a new product come out that I'm actually super excited about that's on showcase right now in my lawn, and that's the GCI 3000 with biochar. It's a new granular fertilizer that came out from GCI Turf. I told you guys I'm an affiliate with Pete, and so I didn't know he was doing this. It came out actually right after me and Pete met and went and played golf together. It comes out, bought a bag immediately. I think there were some issues with shipping. It was a little more expensive than typical, and so he probably has that worked out by now if I had to guess, but I've put that down at my lawn. We actually spread some of that at the project lawn. Again, with the dark timing of the day, it's hard for me to get over to the church and see it during the daylight unless I make a special trip over there. I need to actually go over there and see. Remember the project lawn? You guys were saying it's hungry fert. We went. We put down some fert. I filmed a little bit of that. Maybe I don't know if I saved it, but we're going to show you the results of that. We threw down some 3000 spiked with a hair of the HCU urea to really feed that thing. So I'm interested to go see what that looks like. That should be the next video update for you guys, so stay tuned. But the 3000 with biochar in it, I was telling you guys, I was just looking. I actually bought the Anderson's biochar, put that in my lawn for the first time. Literally like a couple days later, Pete comes out with a fertilizer with biochar in it. Didn't coordinate that, didn't make that up. I just was like, man, there's something in the biochar. When I watched Pete's video and he was doing it by an old fire pit with that. Now, I don't know if that's technically biochar, so please don't attack me if I'm incorrect in that. But that green grass, he noticed something in that. So did I. So biochar was something we tried out as well in my lawn in 2024. And lastly, we pre-germinated seed for the first time, guys. I've never done that in my entire life. We talked about it. We did it at the project lawn with the Jonathan Green heavy traffic mix. It had ryegrass and it had tall fescue in it. It wasn't the ideal blend to do that with, but we did it. We kind of prematurely took it out of the water, let it germinate. It turned out fine. The project lawn is thriving right now. You're going to get an update on that coming up soon, and you'll see. We did have some thin areas, and I don't know why that is. Why? Because we put down enough seed to be super heavy, but we still felt like we had thin areas, and I'm not sure why that was. So we did come back. We didn't pre-germinate. We just spread some Jonathan Green Black Beauty original tall fescue and put that out. We did have an instance where we felt like the sun, it was so hot, even when we're doing that seeding, that the sun hits the back of the church, which can sometimes hit the lawn, reflecting the sun and the heat down, and it could have possibly killed off some of the ryegrass. So we planted some tall fescue. It's thriving right now. We don't have that heat problem right now. We don't have that sun problem right now. The tall fescue in the project lawn is looking awesome. So that's some of the things. That's not everything, but that's a lot of things we went through in 2024. This has kind of been a 2024 in review in the Mr. Ferguson Lawn Care saga. We've gained some subscribers, so welcome to the new subscribers we gained in 2024. Thank you so much for clicking the subscribe button. Also, to all of our members, thank you so much for those that have signed up to become a member this year. Can't thank you guys enough. I don't want to name names because I'll leave somebody out, and I don't want to do that. But thank you so much for your continued support. And if you're interested, that's in the description as well if you're interested in becoming a member for 2025. But hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of look back of what we've learned, and looking forward to a new lawn care season. Who knows what we're going to be doing coming up soon, but thank you for being along with me on this lawn care journey so far. I look forward to seeing you out in the lawn very soon. God bless you.